What's up, good people? It's your man, Jay Free, the Enlightened Perspective, United Intellectual Consortium. Again, as usual, hoping everybody having a peaceful, wonderful, and blessed evening. Just always, man, trying to enlighten, uplift, spreading information. We believe that knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is the key to everything, because through knowledge, it reveals understanding. Understanding reveals truth, and the truth eventually sets us free. I'm joined again today by my brother Levitate. Get him on here. You want to say something to the people, give a shout out or not, bro?
Peace and love, good. That's it.
Bless us.
I think.
Yeah, it's a little echo. But it's all good. Well, we gonna go on and get into a little background, so I'm gonna mute you while I do this part, man. You can see the headline today. Like I say, trying to keep us up to date with what's going on around us. You know what I'm saying? There's always situations that are happening, and oftentimes, you know, we get distracted and drawn away by the wrong things sometimes, and we don't pay attention to other things that have more relevant importance. And so this was what really sparked my attention. As we get into this, y'all gonna really have to understand what we're saying, because the other day we did a story about Michelle Obama, and she was talking about, you know, the racism that she endured while she was in the White House. And the actor James Woods, who we're all familiar with, he spoke up and he pretty much said to her to stop whining. You've been living pretty good, you know, taking, you know, private jet flights and so on and so forth on the taxpayers' dime. And I immediately already, you know, took that statement, you know what I'm saying, as somewhat, I took the statement as somewhat controversial. But again, that's me, and my job, or my try to spark your interest and make you think about some things. So I took it as controversial, because he was pretty much saying to her, what you complaining about? You've been in the White House, regardless of what she may have gone through. Now, here we are sitting here, and the headline reads, Michael Savage, or the third person speaks out. You know what I'm saying, about civil war. So I'm gonna read the article from Michael Savage, and then we'll get into it a little bit. On Friday, best-selling author and national syndicated talk show host Michael Savage warned of a civil war if the Trump-hating left succeeds in bringing down President Donald Trump. Referring to a 1939 novel, Savage told his listeners Friday that the day of the locust will come and people will resort to mob violence. That is what's going to happen in this country, Savage said. You have not yet seen mob violence in this country. You've seen some mob violence instigated by George Soros mobs, but you have not seen the thing that I'm telling you is coming in this country. You haven't seen the day of the locust yet. Warning Michael Savage makes, he says that left succeeds in bringing down Donald Trump. He says that I'm warning you that it will come a day of locusts. And he said that it's going to resort to mob violence. And I noticed what he said. He said, you've not seen mob violence. He said you've seen small mob violence instigated by George Soros mobs. In other words, he's saying by ignorant, on little stupid foolish. He said, but now I'm talking about an organized structure, you know what I'm saying, counter defense. And he says you ain't seen like what I'm telling you is coming in this country, the day of the locust yet. Now, before I read any further, before I read any further, man, the reason why these details are so important is because when you really are aware of what has been going on, remember Dylan Roof. We always talk about the implementation of a strategic plan that is trying to be implemented on the American people. And so the race war is part of an implemented plan. That's why when I talk about it can't just be about black and white, because we all have to wake up and realize how we're being used by the system. Otherwise, we will all destroy one another. And this, again, is one of the tools in which they use to operate. This is what Mike Savage is talking about when he says that you don't seen, you know, little riots and mobs. He say, but that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm telling you is going to come if they remove Trump. He said the day of the locust. I'll continue to read. He says, what the day of the locust is referring to is a 1939 novel by Nathaniel West, features an artist from Yale. He comes to Hollywood and creates a painting, The Burning of Los Angeles. The painting captures the despair of Americans who worked and saved their money, and it props anger boils over into destruction and mob rule because they realized even after they worked so hard that they were not able to achieve the American dream. And so again, the question we're asking is, what is Michael Savage and James Woods and the others, what are they referring to when they talk about the American dream? Because Michelle Obama still complains about the racism that she is enduring and suffering, even while in the White House as the top position that can be held in our country, yet she still was suffering, you know, separation and different treatment because of the color of her skin. So what is this American dream that they're talking about? And because they're supporting Trump, everybody knows Trump's rhetoric and Trump's ideologies and Trump's, you know, stands. So there will be mob violence if Trump is removed. That lets you know the mentality of the people that are making the statements in the first place. That means with all of the ridiculousness, if I can use that word like the TV show, with all of the ridiculousness that Donald Trump has already done and committed, these people are saying that we are going to be willing to fight and die if they remove our president because of our American dream. Now watch what he says. He says, this is Michael Savage continue. And if the left take Trump down through any type of special counsel or through any other source, and they deny the people's vote, there will be a civil war in this country. I'm warning you, all of you leftists who think you're going to steal our vote, you are wrong, he said. The next step and steal our president, I warn you, you've seen nothing yet. You will see the day of the locust in this country. It's a phenomenal statement. This is again a best-selling author. He has a nationally syndicated talk show, and these are the statements that he is making. And notice, this is a warning that he is given. And now I'll tie this together for us to understand, because what I'm saying is this is how you see the strategy as it's put together, because he was the third person within a 24-hour period. Now, the actor James Woods, who we're familiar with James Woods, we know who he is. I got his article up here. Let me pull his face up for those who may not be familiar with James Woods. Of his face. But James Woods issued a statement on the day before, and he said the same thing, that you know what I'm saying, if Trump is removed, it's going to be civil war in this country. It's going to be chaos and it's going to be unrest. And so again, a major player, this is a Hollywood actor, director, producer, you know what I'm saying, and all of his influence. Now the main person that needs to be spoke of and note is Craig Sawman Sawyer. And this is a former Marine and Navy SEAL. Now, he, on the same day as James Woods made his statement, Now, again, this is Craig, his name is Craig Sawyer, and they call him Sawman. He's a Marine veteran, former Navy SEAL sniper, combat instructor, and the owner of Tactical Insider. Now, he warned the people, and this is what he said. American subversives involved in any way in an unconstitutional coup against our president will be run down and executed immediately by the world's most supreme warriors. There will be nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide, no mercy, no sense of humor. Harsh examples will be made. My prediction is it will be a gruesome massacre. Why? because one side in this conflict has 8 trillion bullets and the other side doesn't know which bathroom to use. End quote. Now, if this isn't a major story that should be combing the front lines, or at least should be sparking the interest of people to be paying attention, because if you see the tone of what's going on, we already know the racial and civil unrest that have been going on in our country for the last couple years. So now we saw that it had to be some type of strategic plan as to why Trump was even put in the White House. And now we start to see the plan as it begins to unfold. And now this is another step in the plan. When we talked about World War III and we talked about the plan to eliminate a large number of the world's population, you know what I'm saying? All of these things are real life, real deal, man. What's going on is, so the things to point out and what these dudes are saying is, you got the first guy, Mike Savage, you got him saying, giving a warning that this ain't gonna be like what y'all are used to seeing. In other words, it is going to be organized and strategic. There's already a people, if you can read between the lines, he's saying there's already a group and a people that are in play, that are aligned and waiting for the command. All we have to do is wave our finger. Pretty much that's what he's saying. James Woods pretty much saying the same thing. It's like they're going public, because it's like they're giving a public warning to those people know what's happening behind the scenes. It's like they're giving a warning saying, hey, letting y'all know, man, if y'all keep with what y'all doing, we gonna raise up and we gonna fight. And so when you see the strategy that they've been plotting and planning, you know, for the last several years, we've been watching Facebook memes and Instagram memes and pictures where they're showing, you know, white extremists, should I say, like Dylan Roof, training, where they in areas where they in the woods and they training, they're getting artillery equipment there. You know what I'm saying? We remember the young girl a couple years back, maybe a year or 2 years back, she was killed at a gun range, shot, or she killed the instructor, I believe it was, shot the instructor mistakenly while they were working on the gun. And people was like, the baby shouldn't have been playing with the gun. And I remember at that time I said, she wasn't playing with the gun, they were training her. And this is what we're talking about. While all of this have been going on for the last couple years, they have already been in preparation and training. And this is why Craig Sawman makes the statement that one side has 8 trillion bullets and the other side don't even know which bathroom to use. In other words, we already are in alignment. We are already strapped. We are already positioned. You know what I'm saying? We already have a plan, and the other side don't even know that it's a conflict or a battle going on. So when it pops off, they're not even going to be ready. That they're giving. This is real information that I'm sharing, and none of this is on the news. This is not breaking news, but this is what the people ought to be paying attention to and ought to be noticing what's going on around our country, man, because this is why the hostility is continually being raised and tempers are being flared. This is why the black officer just killed the white lady to, you know, continue the issue. More people were just killed over this weekend around the country. It's a continual pattern because it's propaganda that they are pushing. And so if we don't, you know, begin to wake up and pay attention and begin to develop transparency. That's all I try to do through my channel, through my videos. I try to make us transparent, to stop trying to hide behind the secret things that ain't normally noticed on the surface. You know what I'm saying? We have to, because like I say, these are just 3 people, but these are 3 people that are in major positions and major players. The Navy SEAL, he can say what he said because he's probably the one that's trained in the Army. He just said we got 8 trillion bullets. And he said the same thing that Michael Savage said separately. They both said it ain't gonna be nothing like what y'all think, man. It ain't what you think. Defending their president. They're not defending human rights. They're not defending the liberties of all people. They defending the right to be, excuse my French, they defending the right to be racist, uppity, capitalist snobs. That's what they supporting. Because what is Donald Trump? You see what I'm saying? So to say it's gonna be hell in the streets if Trump is removed, you get what I'm saying? So if we as the people pay attention to what's going on around us, we are slowly on the brink of major catastrophe like we haven't known. We're talking civil unrest and civil war in our street. Our black constituents and my fellow black brothers and sisters, please, because he's giving warning. We ready, y'all ain't even paying attention. And it's not just about black and white, but there's still a mentality of this group of people where they still focus on things from, I guess you could say, from a color perspective, so to say. You know what I mean? That's why James Woods made the statement he made before this statement, telling Michelle Obama stop whining about talking about you dealing with racism. Quit whining. You see what I'm saying? And this is the same man that made the statement, remove Trump, baby, and there's gonna be some war out here. So again, Jay Free, joined by Bro Levitate. Again, just trying to share information with y'all, keep y'all up to date, keep y'all enlightened, trying to spark your mind, and we all begin to grasp some of these concepts and think. Again, if you like what we're doing, if something I was said you didn't agree with or you agree with, please hit the comment button. Leave your comments in the bottom. I will respond as soon as possible. Please like, share, subscribe, help keep the word going, help keep this information going, share with everybody that you can. As always, peace, love, blessings, and light. Jay Free, one.